Welcome to RickRackRuby. I'm Laura Cluvo. Today I will present a demo of 3 lace collage Christmas angels. The original tutorial for this project will be linked above. I just want to encourage you to have fun with this project. Now let's get started. I've done quite a bit of preparation for this video. I'd like to do 3 projects, 3 demos, 3 different sort of colors, and I've already prepared the dress pattern, the body pattern, by sewing the Pellon 50 to the back of the front, only to the front, not to the back of the front, not to the back. That makes sense, right? And I've made some faces, and I've made some wings, and I've even prepared the hair all in advance. So hopefully we can go quickly on this. I also don't want to spend too much time on decisions with the lace. I just want to be a little bit more spontaneous. Instead of trying every single lace in the box, I will just kind of go with the first thing that seems like it will work. This has a stain here. I've been trying to use this and I haven't yet, even though I've had it for a while in my stash, but I think that'll work. And this might work. I think I'll use this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew this, I call it a point lace. I don't know if that's the right term, but it has a lot of little dots in it. And I'm going to sew this all the way around the edge. I know from experience this can stretch and become very annoying when I'm sewing it, so I'm just going to be patient and just stitch all the way around the edge. I'm going to pin and stitch this down. Okay, now I'm not really feeling this one. Let's try something else. That's not enough. This still looks good. I think I'll just go with this one. These lines aren't completely parallel, but I think it'll work out just fine. I'm going to sew this front to back now and leave the opening at the top. Stitch around with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, stuff, and I'll be back. There's the body, and now I'll glue the head on. "15 inches of collar lace. I've chosen this white because it's a nice contrast to this sort of creamy color. I'll add this little button here at the chin. It's mother of pearl. It's a nice sort of creamy color. That looks good. I'll secure it in the back. Now for the hair. This is my index card method, which I've described in the tutorial for the angel. I'm going to apply some glue here. Press this yarn into the line of glue, and then more glue along the side and the back, and then the other side and the back, so that the ends meet. Then I'll draw this back to see how it looks. It looks pretty good. Wrap around and make a little top knot. To pull this really tight. This actually secures the hanging loop. So I want to make sure it's very secure. Here's my hanging loop. It's 1/16 inch ribbon. And my halo is 20 gauge wire. This is about 6 inches. Form it into a circle with a stem. The stem's about 1 inch. Open up the circle a little bit. Bend the stem down, apply glue, and press it into the center of the top knot. Ooh, how about this one? I like that. There are her wings. And then I think I'll add a ribbon right here. I'll just tie a bow. And glue it right in here. I'm putting it underneath the lace collar. The rose on the lace is kind of echoed by the rose in the wings, and her hair, of course. And she is done. Who is next? Maybe the pink? Okay, this one will be next. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to press this. I'm having a hard time getting the lace to look like it's parallel to the top and bottom of the project, so I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to sew it down. Sometimes it doesn't look right at first, and then once it gets stuffed and it becomes three-dimensional, it looks fine. I will try to center this though. All right, I'll sew these down first. This is bobbin lace, and there's a butterfly motif. But it's not really old. It wasn't too long ago that you could buy this by the yard. And now I'll sew this down as well. I love it. I'm going to sew the front to the back, the 1/4 inch seam allowance, turn and stuff. Here's my angel body. I'll glue her head on. And then I'll gather up her collar. I like using a double strand of quilting thread better than a single strand of button and craft thread. This angel has eyes on the back of her head. I can see I started on that side and then the eyes were too low, and so I spun it around and made it on the other side. I'm pretty sure I'll use this for her wings. Cute. Now for the hair. I always tie this off above her left eye because right there is where I know I would like to place some kind of an embellishment, usually a flower. Here's her halo. Twist. Open. Bend. Put that in there. This might be a little bit too short. Let's try it. I think it'll work. That's a little short. I usually like it longer. But I think it'll work. I think I'll glue the wings on next because I have 3 options of colors for the flower, for the rose, and I think I'll go with this one. This one to me looks most like this color here in the wing. That's pretty. Then I think I'll go ahead and add a bow underneath here. And this angel is done. Let's look at the 3rd fabric. This one is the most neutral, which is why I think I'm going to do this one in a purple theme with these for the wings, and or maybe these. That could work too. And then I have this purple trim. See if I can't work this in. Pretty. I think that'll work. I'll start with this one. I'm going to center this little triangle right here. Can you see how the lace has triangles? And I have this one right here centered. That looks good. And now I will sew, turn, and stuff. Here she is, she's stuffed, she has her collar, I sewed on a button, and now I'm adding her hair. Now I'll check. That's going to be great. That looks really good. I'll pull her hair up into a little bun or a top knot. Oh, hold on, the glue is still hot. Let's give it a second to secure. While we're waiting, I think I will tie a little bow. I'm going to add a bow just to make it consistent with the other two angels that we are creating in this video. Okay, that hair is ready to style. I'll use a double strand of quilting thread. I always put it on a needle, but you don't really have to. You can just use it and tie it with your hands. Sometimes I like to sew through the hair. I'll show you that technique. Pull it tight. I think I wrapped that 3 times, but just because I had a nice long piece of thread. And I'll tie it off. And then I'll stitch through a few times and tie it again. As long as you have a nice long piece of thread, you can do it that way. Now I know it's extra secure. I'm going to add an extra bit of glue here to hold the bow in place. I would like for the bow to kind of go down and not out like that. So I'll use glue to secure it. I don't want the streamers to be any longer than the dress. Now to embellish the hairstyle, I'll add this flower. I try to get that right on the knot, or I tie it off the little bun. And don't forget the halo. 6 inches of 20 gauge wire. This is the kind of flowers that I used. Paper Flowers Recollections from Michaels. Twist, open, bend. Put some glue on that little stem. Into the hair. And then add a hanging loop, which I'm sewing through beneath the bun. And now I'm kind of on the fence about which of these to use. Even though this looks bright and it looks pink, there's this purplish color around the edges. And this is just more of a solid purple. I imagine if a little girl was choosing, she would choose this, right? And she is done. Yay! So we made 3 new angels. They're kind of a similar formula. I like to present my projects as a formula so that they're easy to reproduce. I want you to be able to make these, not just to watch me make them. This is bugging me that her hanging loop is so short, so I'm going to repair that. I'm going to redo it. Remember, the tutorial for this is called Vintage Lace Collage Angel Ornaments or something like that. But I hope that you've enjoyed watching me just make these additional projects. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.